Sark, it was a long off-season. Last year, we were happy for every college football Saturday that we could get, but it was a far thing from a full buffet. Look at Stanford. They played only
Which game is this?
Needless to say, it is good to have college football back. Awesome. I mean, we're in
Hello everyone. So today's video is kind of a combination of a vlog / sit down interview with Jacob, and we're going to talk about UT's first game of the season. I decided to have Jacob join me because, well, one, he's a much bigger college football fan than I am. He grew up rooting for Texas. This was like basically the way I was raised a Spurs fan was how he was raised a Texas fan. He has a lot more college football knowledge than I do. And so I'm kind of trying to get to that point. And I just wanted to, get that out of the way so it doesn't seem like he's here to be a mansplainer. He's just here. We do this kind of on our own anyway, so I thought we could make a video out of it. So sorry for that really drawn out explanation, but I just want to start off if you could recap the game, but just our game day experience.
Well, it was fun. We left here around 12. The game was at 3:30. We left here around 12, got to the parking garage at like 12:30ish. Then we walked to the stadium, and it was already getting hot. And I really didn't want to waste time because the doors opened at 1:30, and I wanted to get good seats. But we got okay seats. It wasn't that close, but it was on the closer to the 50-yard line. But we got there, waited in the line. It was already hot. We were wearing masks, and we're like, man, it's so hot. And then we walked in at they opened the doors at 1:30, so it was like 30 minutes after we had gotten in line. And then we sat there for 2 hours, and it was sweaty and hot. And a lot of people were in the concession area waiting because it was cooler down there than it was outside. Got a couple waters and stuff, and basically tried to last through the whole game. But the game was fun. I was worried at first. I was actually nervous the whole time because I would have PTSD from the last few coaches we've had.
As you continue to press on, we see your courage and our hope rises. You are...
It's hot.
Yeah. The second quarter was better for Texas.
A little bit. Defense doing its job. Offense needs to make something happen.
Yeah.
Overall, it was a pretty good game. I was, I wouldn't say satisfied because there's still things they can work on, but I was happy with the outcome.
Yeah. I talked to Jacob about this before because I was hesitant to get rid of Tom Herman, mainly because there wasn't anything that really made me hate him as much as everyone else did. I felt like a lot of people were like, we need to win now or he leaves. And I've learned a lot about how college football's kind of just this cutthroat environment. You have a small window of time to like have your guys, have your talent, have them perform to those expectations, and if you don't in, a few years, then that's that. Going back to like how I was raised a Spurs fan, I was really looking to leaders that had a really good character and stuff, and something Jacob was not alone in this, but a lot of people were wanting somebody like Urban Meyer to step in as the new head coach, and there's a lot that I don't like about Urban Meyer as a person, as an individual with allegations and stuff. And what's really cool to me about Sark is one, he's a really great coach, obviously, and the guys seem to really like him, but also, he has some stuff that he's dealt with, but also in a way that's like great for the guys, and he's very transparent about his issues. And I see more of like what I want in a coach in Sark than I do. Actually, I was asking Jacob the other day because I was like, there's a lot of controversy over different college football coaches and stuff, but I was like, Saban's a good guy, right? And you were saying, yeah, he is. But yeah, I feel the same way about Sark, and I'm sure it's because he comes from like Saban's tree. I don't know if Saban's like that, if he has kind of
It's more Pete Carroll's tree, but he worked under Saban, so.
Yeah. So what were you looking for in Sark's season opener?
Just not letting the lesser talent get their hopes up. That's something that Tom Herman did a lot. He he would play down to the competition, and that's like the main reason I didn't like Herman. Not that he was a bad coach, but there'd be times where he was a good coach, but he wasn't a great coach. So like whenever he'd play lesser talent opponents, like he had so much talent, he had recruited like 2 top 3 classes, and we'd still lose to teams like Maryland or TCU or Oklahoma State or West Virginia, and those are just teams you shouldn't lose to. So I was like seeing today or on Saturday at the game, seeing how much, because the line was only at a 8.5, and I was like, if they barely win by that much, I don't know if I'd be upset or if I'd just be content with the win. But that they won with like 20 points, I was glad to see that, and that they had control of the game the whole time. I was also glad to see that too.
Jacob, actually, didn't you bet or made a pick over the spread for Texas to win?
Yeah, as it got closer to the game, because of first of all the hurricane in Louisiana, so that kind of like I don't know what the right word is, like messed up their practicing schedule, I guess.
Mm-hmm.
And then the more I read about Sark, because I'm like subscribed to like the insider site, so I read more about it, the more confident I got that he'd put the players in the right position to win. So
what was your favorite part of the game?
Probably when Jordan Whittington had that big catch in the open field, and he made a nice play and made a few people miss, and he looked really happy. I'm just happy for him because he's been hurt like the last 2 years, and he was a 5-star coming in and hasn't really had his chance to like show his talent. So that was pretty cool to see.
Yeah. But what do you usually look for?
Really, I watch mostly right now is like offensive line and defensive line play. I try to watch that a lot, and then the pre-snap motion. I mean that's hard to miss because it's before the snap and you see all these people moving around. But one thing I want to watch more is like DB and wide receiver play. I don't really look at that until like the ball's thrown at them, and that's something that you should probably watch a lot because there's a lot going behind the scenes. Like the one play I missed. Jordan Whitney. I mean, I didn't miss it. I saw it, but I didn't notice the route he ran where he like broke some guy's ankles. Like almost literally, he like rolled some guy's ankles and like made him get hurt, and they had to have an injury timeout. And I thought that was pretty cool. But I didn't see that in real time because I was watching the line, and then they showed the replay, and I was like, wow, maybe I should watch the wide receivers more.
Do you feel like Whittington's your favorite player on this team?
No, it's Bijan, but Whittington's my second favorite player.
I'm right now in the process of determining a favorite player. I'm hoping within the next couple of games, one of them will rise to the occasion for me. My favorite player for, like, that I've seen so far come out of the Texas program since I've been here, which is only going to be, like, our senior year, is Malcolm Roach. But just because he's a big sweetheart and, like, good person. That's kind of, I feel like, my golden rule for sports in general. Like, you can be a phenomenal player, but if you suck as a person, I am not gonna be as impressed by you. How'd you feel being back in the stadium?
It was nice. I was a little nervous at first because of the whole COVID thing, but then I kind of got used to it, and it was very hot, so I kind of like took my mind off of it too. But I really like the way it looks now. I just hope more people can sit in it. The south end zone because there's a lot of like open seats, but I'm guessing it's because of the heat, which makes sense. So I'm looking forward to the next game, which is supposed to be at night.
Yeah, I'm gonna be missing that one. Yeah, it was really hot. I felt some relief when we were watching Fnatic Perspectives video. Was it yesterday? Like a few days ago?
It was yesterday. No, it was yesterday actually. Yeah.
And he said it was the hottest game that he's ever been to. And I told Jacob, I was like, that's such a relief because personally I was trying so hard not to, because I knew I had been out of practice. Like, it had been over a year since we had gone to a game. You know, I'm not outside as much as I should be. I was like, we were saying, Jacob was trying to get me a pregame with water the night before. And I told him I drank some water, but I really drank like half a bottle of water. And I was like, okay, time to go to bed. And then I drank a bunch the next day, but I'm pretty sure I sweat all of that water out. And I was doing so good until I got to the car and I was like, this is my come down. All I've had today is a slice of pizza, and I felt terrible, but it was so fun. And we got to take one of my friends who's a freshman, and something I explained to her, I just brought up to her is like, you know, if you're like in college or you're deciding on a university or something, it's interesting because I wasn't a huge Texas fan by any means. I was like, yeah, I want to go to school there. I'm going to get the merchandise and I'm going to tell people and stuff. But your first game as a student of UT, I felt completely different. Like, I felt like I had a huge stake in it, but it's really cool. And it felt really nice to be back, and I'm probably going to be sad our last game. But just to kind of wrap this up. So, like, what are your goals for the team? Like, your big goals.
Like this year?
Mm-hmm.
I mean, I would really like for them to play in a Big 12 championship. I don't know how realistic that looks right now. I need to see more first. But that's like the main goal right now, is for them to win a Big 12, win the Big 12 championship. But to play in one, I'd be a little happy with. At most, the most losses I'd be okay with is like 3. 4, you're kind of pushing it, but like 4 or more, I'd be slightly disappointed in the season. But I'm just hoping at least they get 9 wins this season before postseason play in a bowl game.
My personal goal for them is to beat OU, because this is our first time going to the game. They've only beat them, well, since we've been here, our freshman year. Dicker the Kickers, how many yard kick or whatever?
40-something.
Something like that. One of our classmates kicked that. But I'd like to, you know, those tickets aren't cheap. I'd like to see them win. And then, I know you didn't want to do this, but I still want to do this. Jacob thinks it's sacrilegious to, and it's not, to me, like, we're always going to go for Texas. It's bad to me if you're going against. So, what are your predictions for the Arkansas game?
So the spread the first time I heard about the spread, it was like 3.5. I think today I heard it was like at 7 or something. But if Texas wins, then it's going to be by more than 3 points, I believe. So
that's all you'll say for today.
That's all I'll say, yeah. I think Texas is going to win, but I'm just nervous still because, I mean, it's in Fayetteville, and Fayetteville's never nice to Texas, so.
Yeah. I also think Texas is going to win. What was the spread of the score for the Arkansas versus,
Rice?
Yeah.
It was, I think it was 38-17, 31-17, something like that. But they were tied going to the fourth quarter, so, and it's Rice. But you never know. I want to keep my head at a decent level, not to get too big-headed about my team, but yeah, that's what I'll say.
Yeah, I think that's really all.
I'll be very happy if they win, because that means I can start out 3-0 for the first time since 2012, I think.
They can start 3-0, what do you mean?
3-0. Like, they'll play Rice after Arkansas, and they're
okay.
going to win that game.
I was like, that's only 2 games. I understand what you're saying. Yeah, that's really it. We're going to try to do we'll see if I haven't even asked Jacob's permission, but I wanted to kind of do these every game this season, you know, just something to reflect on. Maybe we'll be like, haha, we were so dumb for thinking that after the first game. Or we'll be like, ugh, to be so young. I don't know where I'm going with that. That's really all I have, but thank you so much for watching. Bye.
Welcome.